So here we are, right? 40 and over the club, 50 and over club, right? Once you get there, all of a sudden things come to a stop, right? There's certain things in your body that stop working, right? To an extent, true, to an extent. But here's why. A lot of this comes down to the very basics of, my honest advice on if you want to get back on track and get back in shape and kind of regain that youth, the vigor, the agility, the strength, not just outside, but overall mentally as well, is remember this thing called walking in nature? How many of us are simply just doing that and engaging our legs, our joints, and absorbing what nature has to give to us? Because, not to be morbid or anything, but we're not dead yet. It's not time. Look at behind me. Look at this. Look at this. The fact that I'm just putting my hands out there and feeling the wind, um, feeling the leaves as I walk, right? How many of you are grounded? How many of you are actually, I wouldn't walk bare feet here, but just honing in on the simplicities of life, smelling nature, the vitamin D, the sun, right? And dealing with our anxiety, because we all have it. We're all fighting it. And a lot of us are resigned and give up easily because we're over 40 and we think that things are supposed to be this way and we just welcome the decline. I'm nearly 50. So yes, I'm nearly 50. And in my right and boasting rights that it doesn't have to be that way if you can maintain and keep up with just simple things. And my honest advice is that you don't need to be competing for a bodybuilding contest. You don't need to be getting on stage. If you want to, go suit yourself, please. But you can get an impressive physique. You can see you can go to my Instagram to see more of me. But you can see I'm a very, pretty lean guy, and I'm about close to 160 pounds. And I have a background in martial arts, Taekwondo. I have my black belt. I got that in college. And then Brazil Capoeira and, traditional forms of karate. And then I've also incorporated kickboxing. So some of these were self-taught as a kid, watching Van Damme movies and all those Gen X stuff that we grew up watching, the action movies. And, lo hold and behold, those very things have carried over into my life long after I was supposed to be done. Here I am doing dance battles in a 20-something-year-old club, right, in Vegas. And then I'm dancing at a local studio here. And, these are activities and things that really, functional activities that really keep me in shape and keep my mind fresh, keep my spirit alive. That's how these are some of the things I incorporate that have become part of my, core routines, core principles, not just lifting weights, but, focusing on other things such as your joint mobility, stretching, right? Paying attention, listening to your body in that sense, really honing in on what your body wants, craves, and test your limit, right? So getting in shape is easy. Getting in shape is easy. That's the good news. It's the mindset that you need and how you look at getting in shape. I think that's more important than anything else because you want to sustain it for the rest of your life. A lot of us look back on our photo albums going back to college, right? We show our nephew and nieces that once upon a time your uncle used to be this karate champion. Once upon a time I used to be this hunk in high school, right? And all these girls used to flock to me. Like we look back on our glory days and say, oh man, or geez, sis girl, I wish I could go back to this and that. And I remember once upon a time I could do this. You know what? I don't say once upon a time. If I was to inspire you, I say I still can. I am hanging with 20-something-year-olds and I'm beating some of them actually in these dance competitions and battles and things I'm able to do with my body because of Brazil Capoeira. I grew up in a Portuguese culture. I was giving you some snapshots of my body of work and influence, right? How I grew up, that really can shape you. So I'm here to tell you that you have to look at this holistically, not something that happens overnight. It's not 1 or 2 or 3 sessions in the gym. It's not a whole month of going to the gym. And yes, you will see results, especially if you're over 40 and you're consciously making an effort. You will see results. But I think a lot of us have to fix our mindset, right? That anything is possible almost at any age. Yes, you may not be able to do a backflip. I can still do a backflip because I have a background in gymnastics as well. But my point, I'm exaggerating. It doesn't even have to be backflips. My point is, you may not be someone that likes to do incredibly athletic aerial things, right? Uh, but at the very minimum, you have to start looking at the longevity of all of this. How long can you sustain it? And the beauty in all of this is once you get to 40 and over, you start realizing that you don't need a lot of food to be satiated. Satiated. There we go. The beauty of YouTube, right? Make mistakes and fail forward. Satiated. You don't need a lot of food to be satiated. And you also can get in shape very quickly. It's because you may not have been trained or guided. You may have just blindly or willfully, carelessly, recklessly just let yourself go. The good news is that you can reverse all of this as quickly as that by drinking a lot of water. I know for a fact that when I started this journey, my fitness journey at 31, yep, it's about 30, 31, I started lifting seriously, and I was lifting serious weight, which was unnecessary. Um, Today, I have a small gym in my place. You probably have seen in other videos. I created that during COVID, the pandemic, and it's still there. I've kind of dialed it down a little bit too after my hernia surgery because I also came to a realization that I love to lift, but I was ego lifting. You know, my chest didn't get any bigger. My shoulder didn't get. Oh, look at the gains here, baby. Look at the gains. See, I wasn't kidding. I'm boasting now, but you know, my chest didn't get any bigger. my my shoulder didn't get any bigger, um, and I was doing all of this with 35-pound dumbbells. My curls, my raises. Every now and then, I would add a bar and maybe 25 plates and just do high reps. I can go heavier because you have had hernia surgery doesn't mean you cannot lift heavier. You just need to be smarter about your training. That's what I was going to say, is that at this age, you want to focus more on stretching, more on mobilizing your joints, more of this. You have 2 feet. They want to move. They want to go. You know, your legs are a big part of your body, right? And a lot of us don't realize is that we sit around most of the day at this age. Most, at least from what I have seen. Although, on the contrary, I've seen some really incredible Gen X's and millennials and Gen X's putting in serious work. And I've seen a recent trend of some of these generations really stepping up to the plate and transforming their lives. Are you one of them? And if you are, please drop me a comment, like, or subscribe, even Instagram. Reach out. We'll connect in any way, shape, or form we can. But I hope to add to the cause because I am a very seasoned Gen Xer, and as I say that, I'm nearly 50. So next year, next July, I'll be turning the big 50. So I am very proud of the work and the body of work that I've put in being a musician, being an artist, being an actor, the demands of an action scene, the demands of having the stamina, the endurance, most importantly, the mindset, right? I'm also a disciple of Mamba mentality, right? Kobe Bryant, work ethics. You got to win at all costs, but you got to be smart about those costs at a later life. So you don't want to be so extreme that you tear your groin or your Achilles and that's it, right? So you don't have to. My point is that getting in shape has never been easier. You can train smarter if you focus on the bigger picture. And getting lean is actually very easy. I did a video about the easiest, smartest way to get lean in 2024, in 2025. But that same concept can apply to any year. I'm also on the carnivore diet, which means that it's not entirely carnivore, but I'm mostly eating meat, right? Very little fruits, some vegetables. Um, I've cut out processed food for the most part. My candy bar really is protein bar, which is the Quest. It's literally got 1 gram of sugar and 21 grams of protein. Um, but that's really it. I mean, I do take protein shakes, uh, but that's as far as processed foods um, go for me. Um, but same time, I ask you, what is the kind of foods and diets that you are following? Because you're gonna need to change that. A lot of us get to this age and we're just very stubborn, which is why it's hard for me to have a one-on-one coaching. Really hard for me to sit down with someone and just tell them as it is, because we at this age, we don't like to be told what to do. We really don't. And we're very stuck in our ways. We're very stubborn in our ways, right? But life will teach you to be humble and also listen and pay close attention to people who have been there and have put in the work and now are trying to give back to our fellow millennials and Gen Xs. So if you're one of them, I actually know quite a few that are on my Instagram, and I know them personally in California, that are so resigned from health, so far removed from the wellness movement. And from a newborn to age 20, 25, it's pure genetics if you're lucky, right? And then from there and onwards, it can be genetics, but it comes down to you and how much work you want to put into that to extend your life, extend the genetics. Because, folks, the reality is that nothing is guaranteed, even for fit people. But the bet you can make on yourself is by rolling the dice and betting on yourself, because the odds are that you improve this piece of your life and this part of your life. Okay, the way it shows up into other areas of your life is just money, gravy. I still get carded on a good sleep day. You know, that's amazing, right? If I shave this off, right, and really trim the beard, clean up the face, you know, I get carded. So wouldn't you like to be in that situation? So this is all possible, folks. I am kicking and flying and Van Damming my way, Jean-Claude Van Damming my way through things. My point is that I can move. And part of this is because I don't want to be that guy that ends up in a nursing home, healthcare. That's what we were bred, right? That's what we were fed. In our days coming up, we used to see a lot of folks like 50 and over decline rapidly, right? Now I know why. I wasn't aware. So people like us, there's other people way fitter than I am, but I think we're blessed. We're blessed to be able to, one, have YouTube, have a community. We're blessed to also be in a position to give back and spread the word and awareness that Gen X is probably, as I know and understand it, to be the last of the dying breeds. We've come from a time and a place and an era where we've seen old school stuff. During our days, we didn't see the obesity climate, the fat culture. We didn't see all this. And as we have aged, and even in corporate culture, and I did a video on that, isn't it amazing how people have just gained so much size, and how even, I mean, I understand pharmaceuticals is a big business, but you still have a choice, and you can still control what you buy at the store and what you choose to pick up from that counter and cook and put on your plate, right? No? So nutrition is the biggest thing, I would say. 90%, it's 100% at this age. It's 100%. You can't really afford to, eat like a 20-year-old, because your metabolism is slower. Let's just face it. And so the way you get there is drinking a lot of water. You need good sleep. A lot of us have just really discarded our sleep habits, and we give corporate corporations, companies, a lot of our time, mentally, psychologically. That stress is going to go somewhere, and it shows up by the way you gain weight, right? And this corporate culture, I've seen it time and time again, 40 and over, especially millennials, you too, right? All of us in that sense. So once again, I mean, this video is going way over than I thought. My goodness, I'm just talking so freely and happily. Could it be I did legs and shoulders before an hour ago, and now the endorphins are kicking in? Or could it be this beautiful walk, Or could it be the nature, the skies, the fall season in Nevada? Could it be? Could it be this gains, bro? Huh? Could it be the gains, bro? Girl, sis? I mean all this in humble, like in sense, right? I'm having fun, right? You know, and I enjoy these walking videos. Talking to the camera, I never thought would be so therapeutic, because I feel like I'm putting good information out there. And sooner or later, I will find my tribe. Sooner or later, I will find the people that want to connect and build something great together. So, getting in shape, folks. My honest advice is you're overcomplicating it. It's not that difficult. You can do it. A lot of this starts with the mind. You fix the mind, you fix your gains. You fix your mind, you fix your gains. The better your mind, the better your gains. So I want to keep saying this. I didn't plan on any of this rhyming and diming and trying to be a rapper, because I have no rapping skills. I have some rapping skills, but uh, once again, what are you going to do about it? Over 40, right? 40 and over club. What are we going to do about it? We pass the message on like this and be the best versions of ourselves. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share the love, right? Till the next one, Mamba out.